Hello, I'm Maureen Rogers from Laurel Mill Playhouse, and this is Curtain Call. We're really pleased today to have an actress from our next musical, which starts on Friday, April the 28th. The name of the musical is the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee.
Yeah.
It's a mouthful.
It is. It's a lot of words.
Why don't you give us your full name and tell us what part you play?
Of course. My name is Mars Duque. I'm going to be playing Marcy Park, she's like this overachiever. Her parents always told her that she had to do everything right. She's super Catholic, so she thinks that God expects perfection. She's just this very uptight 12-year-old. Very uptight.
Because it is adults playing children.
Correct.
And then there's some adults playing adults.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's strange.
Yeah. What brought you to try out audition for this musical?
I've been a fan of the show for years. It was since it came out, we had a chance to go to Broadway and see it. And it was a lot of, I just really liked the show. So I've auditioned for it a few times. There's an audience participation element to the show where we take 3 people up on stage or 4 people up on stage every night. And I was a guest speller for another show. So I actually got to go up there and be a volunteer. And when I saw this audition listing, I was really excited. So I came to audition.
And this is your first time at Laurel Mill Playhouse,
It
right?
is. It is.
And tell us about some other venues that you've performed at.
Yeah, I mainly perform in Baltimore. So I've done a lot with Baltimore Rock Opera Society. I work with Just Off Broadway, Still Point Theater. I've done a few in DC with Wolfpack Theater. Just pretty much any theater company that will have me. I am open to anything.
What would be your role and what musical would it be that you would just love to do?
I really want to do Heathers, the musical, as Veronica. That's definitely been a dream role of mine for many, many years. So that would be ideal. Also, since I was this big, I really wanted to do Christine in Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, yeah.
So that would be ideal.
Yeah, right. Was it hard to go back in time and act like a child?
Kind of. I mean, I feel like I've always been kind of yelled at for being too childish. So it wasn't that hard to tap into, but also it was a little bit easier because at least in Act 1, my character is very, she's very straight. She's not really engaging with the other kids. She's there to spell and she's there to win and go home.
Oh, she's very focused.
Yeah. She has a character development throughout the show. So by the end, she's, maybe a little less uptight, but definitely it was an interesting mindset to be in, to be like, oh, I'm not supposed to be playing my age. I'm supposed to be 12.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
Everybody would like to go back to those years, I'm sure. And this musical can be seen by kids as well as adults.
Yeah. There are some language and some topics that might be a little adult. I would say it would be more comfortable for maybe 13 and up, but definitely I feel like there's some jokes that even if you did bring a kid, it'll kind of just go over their heads. So
now the volunteers, they're not chosen. They actually volunteer, because I know some people are afraid that they'll be chosen for something they don't want to get on stage.
Yeah. So they volunteer. I believe that they're going to be told that they're doing it. Once they sign up, I think we're going to pick 4 people and be like, hey, do you still want to do this? And then we announce them and they come up and they get to participate in the spelling bee with us.
That's great.
And that's super fun because it's going to be a different experience every night. We never know what the audience volunteers are going to do. We never know how we're going to interact with them. It's a very in the moment.
So don't be afraid to come to the show, because you don't have to do it. You can sit back. We won't make you do it. But maybe by the end of the show, you wish that you did have volunteer.
It's definitely a show that I think that if you see it more than once, you're going to get a different show each time.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So it starts Friday, April rather,
April.
April 28th, and it runs for 4 weekends. The last 2 weekends, they also have Sunday shows
Yes.
at 2 p.m. Otherwise, it's Fridays and Saturdays. And you should definitely purchase your tickets ahead of time at laurelboardoftrade.org. And if you have any questions, you can dial the number, our theater number, which is 301-617-9906. So, Mars, thank you so much for coming. And I'm meeting you for the first time, you know. So it's good to meet you. And I know it's going to be a great show. So I'll see you on Friday.
Of course. See you then.
Stay tuned. We've got some very special people coming up. Our costumer extraordinaire and our patron extraordinaire.
Cyberbullying is a very real thing, affecting over half of young adults online. It is generally done by bullies called trolls. These trolls will invade your privacy and ruin your social media experience. Here are some ways to prevent that. Set your privacy settings on all accounts. Only accept friends. Trolls are not your friends. Don't release any personal information. Block suspicious accounts. And tell a trusted adult. Use these tips to help keep you safe on social media. Don't get trolled, stay safe online, and stop cyberbullies.
Welcome back to Curtain Call. And we have 2 special guests with us. They're both patrons extraordinaire. But we have Marge McGugan, who's going to talk to us about what it takes to costume all these shows we do at Laurel Mill Playhouse, because we're only dark 1 or 2 weekends, and then we go right back into a show. And T.C. Adams, he is our publicity extraordinaire, because he comes to the shows and he gets out the word, so to speak. So do you remember how we met, T.C.?
I want to say either it had to have been before Main Street Festival.
Yeah. I think you called me because you were interested in getting your band in, the Violent Relaxation Band, a really great band. And then you came in the office.
Yeah.
And we talked some more. I think you were in the festival that year.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you appeared at our Lennon and McCartney show. I went, I know you.
Yes. Yes, with John Perry. Yeah, excellent.
So tell us a little bit about your band, because his band will be playing at the Laurel Main Street Festival Saturday, May the 20th. Yeah. Do you have a time? Do you know?
I think it was 1:15 to 2 o'clock, or 1:30 to 2:15.
Great.
What it is. Yeah.
So this will be your second time.
This will be the second time.
So how did you get this band together? How did it start to happen?
A long process. Just trying to find the right members, and you can't find a bass player, find another one. Can't find a drummer. You just keep working with it. And finally, something clicked, and we started writing original music. I am a singer-songwriter, so I do write most of the music myself. And of course, I collaborate with the guys. And so we just started going forth and trying to get our name out there.
So have you been involved with music for years?
Oh, yes. Well, really, I got started from my grandfather. He was in a band himself back in the 50s, a doo-wop band.
Ooh.
A doo-wop band. Yeah. So he had his band, and used to watch him play guitar and stuff, and I always wanted to. So around 16, I started playing myself and wanting to write my own music, and that's where it began. So,
and you play all around. I see the advertisements. Like every weekend, you're normally really busy. Where do you play in Baltimore, Parkville?
Yeah, we're basically DMV or whoever would take original music. It's kind of tough for our band being original music. But yeah, Baltimore and Virginia, DC area.
And why don't people want original music?
Well, it's easier for a venue to have cover bands to play all night. So having original music, you have to, not a lot of people like to come see original bands because they're not familiar with their music. So until you get something out there in the universe, that's kind of where it begins, where a lot more people would want you. So it's a slow process. Yeah.
And you were very involved. He was very involved with the Laurel's Got Talent show.
Talent, yes.
We had 12 performances. We didn't know who was going to show up each night.
Yeah.
You were awesome because you came
Thank you
every
so
night.
much.
And you brought people. What were some of the people's names that you brought?
Yeah, John Lofton came. He was gonna try to go up there, but one of the shows got put off. Had a guy named Jim. He came and appeared with me on stage and performed also. So that was pretty much it.
You were definitely the glue that held the Laurel's Got Talent show together, because sometimes you'd open in the beginning and the end and medium, make it smaller, make it bigger, depending on how many people we had. So I so appreciate that.
No, thank you for the opportunity.
It was great fun just to see all those people. We got some new people that came in, so that was wonderful.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for being a patron. Make sure you come and see the Violent Relaxation Band on Saturday, May the 20th.
Yes,
or become friends with TC Adams, and you'll see you post where you'll be.
Yes. Usually you can find us or myself on either Facebook, Instagram, or the band on Facebook and Instagram. So yeah, we're on there. So,
Great.
Yes.
Great.
All right.
And Marge, tell us how you costume all these shows from beginning to end, and just go right into another one. And you costume for other people, other theaters too.
I've worked with Bowie Community Theater, and I'm now working with Greenbelt Arts Center. And it really starts with the script, and once I read the script to see if the author has anything particular that they need to have done, then usually we can work with the director and the actors and see how the actors feel in the clothes. Like, does it enhance their character or does it make them feel uptight? When we were doing Towards Zero, that was a big one, They have to have enough costume to move in. And if they're going to be in a fight, they need to be able to move without splitting seams.
That was great. Yeah, it really worked out well.
It worked out well. And, sometimes it comes together very easily. Sometimes the cast members bring their own comfortable clothes in. And it just tends to work out quite nicely.
Do you have a preference over, costuming a period piece as opposed to a modern day piece?
No, I don't have a preference. I mean, I tend to get an awful lot of the 1940s, 1930s, because I'm very up on that type of fashion. And that's always been interesting, working around the people who don't want to let their hemp lines go down below their knees, like you would have to in the 30s and 40s.
Right,
It's like, well, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm sorry, that's the way they wore things back then.
Yeah, and we have not worn stockings.
Right, exactly.
Everybody says, I don't wear stockings anymore,
Right, and then to try and get them to go into seamed hose.
Oh my gosh,
that's an interesting thing. But some people are very good about it, and others just do like they did in World War II, take an eyebrow pencil and draw a line down the back of their leg.
What is your favorite piece, favorite show that you've costumed?
That's a toughie.
You could have many, I would guess.
Yeah,
at this
I have an
point.
awful lot. I'm not sure I could narrow it down to just one. I've had a great time with the kids' shows.
Oh, yeah.
With Willy Wonka, I was just very proud that I was able to blow up Violet Beauregard into a blueberry that toddled off stage. And
That was awesome.
was good.
That was
really
That was
awesome.
good.
and some of those kitschy type costumes I really have a lot of fun with.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that's one of them. Working with the kids is always a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. They're so good.
Yeah.
I should say TC's niece was
Yes,
in
she was.
Yeah.
Willy
Mhm.
Wonka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, she was.
Yeah, it was great. She's got a great belting voice.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
does.
Look out,
She does.
Broadway.
Yeah.
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 She's right there.
Yeah, so that kind of thing, sometimes the challenge of just putting something together like that is, that's really good. When you finally make that challenge and it works and it all comes together, it makes you feel good.
Yeah, opening night.
Yeah.
You're relieved.
Right.
Well, thank you both for all that you do. It's been
Yes.
great chatting with you. And
Of course.
if you want to see Marge's work, please come and see the shows. And if you want to see TC, check out his band on May the 20th. You come to every show, so you might even meet him there at Laurel Mill
Yes.
Playhouse.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you again.
Thank you.
So
Thank
much
you.
for joining us today at Curtain Call. We'll be back next month with a new show, new people.
Okay.